The year is 2020. An unnamed virus of unnamed origin ravages the planet. A young boy in high school receives the notification that he will have 2 weeks off of school for safety measures. 3 months he is shut in his room with nothing but a shitty-ass Mac that can barely run one memorable block game. Hey yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Kneecap Deleter. So you know that world that you just got that's like, you've had it for way too long and you just got loads of stuff? Well, yeah, this is my world. A little bit of history, started this world in confinement.
Thank God for COVID.
I've got like no idea how it survived so long. It survived 3 different computers dying. It survived 2 different accounts being lost. And yeah, here it is. We're on like day 2250.
Hell no, man, what the fuck?
Some of it is AFK time, but it is mostly playing. So first I'll do a little bit of a fly around. And here we are. This is the world. Let's start from the beginning. So over here we have like the first building that I actually built in this world, making it kind of like look nice. Back in the day, I don't know about you, but I always used to like play, beat the Ender Dragon, beat the Wither, and like be happy. And this was like the first building that I actually kind of like made, wanting to kind of like make it look cool. It's very old. I think I followed a tutorial kind of. You go in. This used to be where I had like all my chests and stuff. Now I've got some of them. The other ones have moved down, which we'll see in a moment. If we go up here, we've got my little super smelter. It's a pretty neat design. Minecart distributes the items. Another minecart for fuel. Check it out in the free cam just so you can see. It's pretty classic. Not much to say about it. It's pretty good. Over here, however, so I built this like yoinks ago. Basically, this is to get fuel. These pipes are connected up to a little kelp farm over here, which gets triggered like every day, and this sends all the items up here, into this minecart. That ends up filling all of the smokers up, and then I can just grab the dried kelp and craft it into dried kelp blocks, and that's how I fuel my furnace array. I'd say it was pretty outdated because lava farms are way better, but now with the introduction of the crafter, this can actually be really good. So you may ask, where are all your items? I was going to do this later, but I think I've got to do it now because my world is very intricate and lots of things lead to this. Here we have the centerpiece of any good, crazy single player world, the super-duper-automatic sorting system. Yeah, with all the items you could ever want. This is one of the areas that I'm the most proud of. It's really cool. I actually made it with my sister when we were both confined at home. She did like the decor. I've changed a bit. I made this hole so it was easier to access to get fly in, fly out. And I built the whole like technical stuff. It's pretty wild, pretty crazy system. Basically just item filters. It makes no sense to have like one filter for every like jungle fence, jungle gate. So I filtered these together. Same with quite a few other things. I will probably have to update it because Mojang keeps introducing new wood types. But anyway, I just love it so much just to be able to go to a chest and just be like, oh yes, I'll just dump in all of these random items and they get sorted automatically. I didn't have a crafting table down here, so I was like, I should probably make a crafting area. It's kind of like a little interior. Back here we can access the back works a bit. And up here I'll show you a little bit on the system. I won't go too deep because if not we'll be here for like fucking days. So here I've got the way that it gets in, like the items get into the system. So they all, well, Simba wants to say hi. Simba's my cat. Moving on. Here is where the items come in. I've got lots of backup so that it doesn't overflow because that would be a problem. And we have many farms that link up to here. Here is one pipe. We've got pipes coming in from quite a few places. This is a pretty neat setup to like automatically sort out the shulker boxes. So here there's a dropper that tries to put the items into the shulker box. So everything can go in a shulker box except another shulker box. So then the shulker boxes are pulled down out here, and here we've got a pretty simple shulker box unloader. The items get dispensed and they go back up into the system. And the empty shulker boxes get pushed across and sorted. First item that we sort out is our honey bottles, and that is because I'm using honey bottles as a filter in almost everything because I do have a honey farm, and like then instead of having to use any like blocker blocks or anything, it's just automatically sorted out here. Moving on, we can fly out the hole and we can go over to the iron farm. This is also one of the OG builds. I always like iron farms, even though like the iron farm meta is kind of stale. It's always an excuse to make like a pretty big build. You'll see kind of like a pattern. I really do like my builds to be functional. I do really enjoy building, but I also really want them to have like a functionality to them. Also mob head collection, and here we can see their golem falls down to the interior, little iron baby zombie. Down here we have the death chamber. The drops get filtered out. Down here they get filtered out, poppies get composted, and the rest gets sent over to this autocrafter, which is like, oh my god, it's so great that they're introducing the crafter block, because then things like this won't be necessary. But basically what the system does is it drops the iron up here, and it goes filling up all of these droppers, and by the time all of the droppers are filled up, this redstone lamp, excuse me sir, will turn on, so we know that it's a full load, and then we can flick this lever thingy and we'll get dispensed loads and loads of iron, and we can quickly craft into blocks. Here is the super setup to get emeralds. I refuse to make a raid farm because I think that they're just kind of a bit overpowered, and instead I prefer to trade with them when they're zombified, which is just as or more overpowered. And then instead of just like, oh, we just got like some emeralds and stuff and some iron that we're not going to use, we can just dump it in this barrel, which I bet you don't know where it's going to go. I bet you can't guess. Why is there an allay here? It goes all the way to the super-duper sorting system. Let's go. Anyway, moving on. One of my favorite builds, the Temple of Sheep. Heavily inspired by the Temple of Sheep that PewDiePie made. I don't know what this dude's doing, but anyway. Oh no, it's closed. How are we going to get in? Fear not, for we have a super secret automatic entrance. The Saint Sheep Jeb. And on the sides we have an automatic wool farm for all of the different colours. It's kind of overflowing. And down here we have automatic storage, and also a pretty cool thing, which I think I kind of want to follow the trend for most of the colourful blocks. Instead of having it all in my storage system, I have it kind of decentralized. There are 2 charged creepers in this bubble column and an allay, which I have no idea how they've gotten here. But anyway, this leads all the way from our storage system, which has a row of filters which filter out the wool types and sends them over to here. Moving on to the jungle island. There are a lot of things that are kind of unfinished. I'm kind of wanting to make videos so that I kind of like have the motivation and like the drive to finish a lot of these builds, because I think they can look very, very cool. But I just kind of like need that little push. So here is a jungle, my jungle island. One of the first like actual islands I tried to make. And here the idea, I wanted to make a lush cave here, and I've got like a moss farm that was supposed to also double up as a bone meal farm, but it turns out it's just not bone meal efficient, so it's good as a moss farm. I'm happy with that. Something I did like genuinely like maybe 3 or 4 real world years ago. I brought jungle animals, like 2,000 blocks across the nether roof. Oh, what the? Oh my god. Oh my god. What? Why do they do that to me? Ah. I wanted to have them in my jungle island, but yeah, they've just been sitting here for like ages. Anyway, one day you'll have paradise, don't worry. So, moving on over to the end island. Pre 1.18 torch spam, before they made that mobs could only spawn at like level 0, it was pain. I remember that mobs still spawned in my base, even though I have all of this torch spam. This used to be a mob farm, but with 1.18, it kind of broke because I had this quad beacon going through the farm, which it kind of broke it. So I just tore it down because like I didn't really need that many mob drops or anything. I used to have this little end room. I actually still got the blocks. I had it over here that I kind of sometimes use as like a kind of a house. I should rebuild it. Let's stop being lazy, please. And down here, I've actually got this pretty neat system. You know me, obsessed with everything being in central storage systems. Goes across here, and the items would get sent into, you guessed it, their automatic sorting system. Yeah, boy. But stay tuned because something big is going in here and it's going to be back up and running. Okay, and here we have an end crystal that I took away while the Ender Dragon was regenerating. I brought it all the way from 0, which is over there. I get cool points, like and subscribe for cool things. So, moving on, this is the Villager Rehabilitation Center. No United Nations personnel allowed beyond this point. Check out this door. Oh my god! Oh my god, this is amazing. Here, the VRC is where I do my villager training. I'll do a quick little demonstration. Here we have the control room. We have 3 different rooms to negotiate with the villagers, so to say. So we got room 1 over there, so we've got to flick the room 1 lever. Now we ask for a minecart, and we should have a zombie villager coming up, and he gets dropped in perfectly. Smack the stonecutter here, grab the potions, cure him, and we have a cured villager. And then, let's say we got this dude here that we've already cured, and we're like, oh yeah, these are great prices, but we need better prices. So we have this lever, which is the renegotiation lever, where we can press him down here. He gets negotiated with, and then we can pull him back up, cure him with some weakness potions and a golden apple, and we profit. Here I have this little redstone lift, which I could just come over here and smack this button, and I'll just be transported easily up here, where I have all of my villagers. And remember at the beginning when I said that I'd been playing on 3 different accounts. So here is one of the big bummers of having that happen. Some villagers that are more recent that remember me curing them, but then I've got quite a few others, like this dude that, yeah, seeing as it's a different account, he doesn't recognize that I was his savior, so that's a pretty big bummer. But to be honest, I've got enough emeralds that it's not really that much of a problem. I would like to redesign this in the future. Up here, I was going to build a library enchantment kind of thing. But as you can see, I kind of didn't end up doing it. Here I've got an enchantment table set up, which would be nice if enchantments were actually useful. I genuinely think it might never have been used. I'll show you the basement. There is the whole system that sends up the villagers. And well, over here there's also the villager breeder. It's currently turned off because it's just a lag machine. If you go in free cam and we go under here, we have the little basement. We have the zombie villagers waiting to get picked up with a minecart. When the button gets pressed, minecart gets dispensed, picks up the zombie villager, and he gets sent all the way up. This is where the villager breeder leads to. But I know, to be honest, I probably should just get rid of them because it's just creating lag. Anyway, we're gonna go through our little storage house, the lighthouse that you might have seen. It's pretty nice. Yeah, it turns on and off. At night time, it works. So this is supposed to be like a bit of a dock area, also unfinished. Another one of the many things that are unfinished in this world. So remember that I said that we used honey bottles and we had a honey farm. So if you've got bees, normally they'll just like fly away and maybe get lost and get hurt and stuff. So what's the natural solution to that? Well, you make the honey farm underwater. This is one of my favorite ever builds that I made, into the water, and we have this little dome with our bees and this little custom tree that I'm terrible at custom trees. We also have this like really rare dude. He has an enchanted trident and a nautilus shell. So in here we have our little underwater paradise. We've got little villagers, they got chickens. Oh, Enriqueta, they're so happy. They even got a little house in here with like death omens outside. Amazing. The bees are super happy. They got loads of different flowers. We'll just stand on this inconspicuous mossy cobblestone and press this button that's just here for decoration, and whoop, we get to the automatic honey farm that actually also shoots the drops, you guessed it, to the automatic super-duper sorting system. This brings me on to the next part, the quarry. Yeah, classic quarry. I don't understand why anybody would ever build a stone farm. If you ever need stone, you can just brrr. This used to be at bedrock level, but of course, new things happen. I was going to build a slime farm, but to be honest, just with the slimes that like naturally spawn here, I already get more than enough slime. The keen amongst you will have seen that this minecart that's going to and from here, you can just dump off the little all the items that you don't want or need, and this is timed so that the hopper minecart stays here the exact amount of time to pick up all of the items, and then the minecart gets sent off on its way. But you can't guess where it's going, eh? Yeah, boy. Minecart gets unloaded and sent into the auto sorting system. Also over here we've got like an easy bubble column so that we can access the sorting system and the quarry. I'm gonna go and sleep. And next on the list, we have this room that you'll have seen from the start. It's got a nice little map of the whole area. You've got a book with stuff I'm like supposed to do, but I don't end up doing. Got a little AFK spot. They've got lots of farms around here. So this is actually kind of funny. These are 4 max size maps. This is like 4,500 blocks across. And I generated all of this in the first PC that I played in, which was a very limited PC, and it did not have fun generating all these chunks. But anyway, the funny thing is, in 1.18, when Caves and Cliffs 2 came out, I would have had to fly like 4,500 blocks away to get new cave generation. So instead of doing that, I just regenerated all of the chunks around except like my base area. Yeah, so this map is no longer accurate. So I really don't want to break it. Like, I don't know, tell me if it's safe to break, but I haven't broken these ever, because and to copy them or something, because I don't want to lose them, because they're pretty cool and they took a lot of effort to make. Moving on, we can go out back here, and you may have seen the most beautiful creeper ever. I will not tolerate any negative comments about his or her appearance. Classic OG build, and I bet you can't guess what's on the inside of this. Yeah, it's a creeper farm that is actually not working by the looks of it. It doesn't really matter because I've got like so much gunpowder, and this of course gets sent over into the super-duper. All of this storage is just for gunpowder. We're pretty okay on gunpowder. So also I have this really intricate and not good at all system. So like, no, I could obviously not light up the area like a normal person using like torches and carpets, which would be very smart. I decided to make a block swapping system, and that would swap whatever concrete block was there for a sea lantern so mobs can't spawn. It actually doesn't even work, which is the worst part, and it probably makes the farm not work very well. But anyway, we had one of my more recent builds. I really liked it, even though it was an absolute grind. I wanted to make a guardian farm for an upcoming project. So I had an ocean monument that was like more or less 600 blocks away in like pretty much a straight line. And I was like, oh yeah, it's not too bad to fly there. Like, it's pretty quick. But that's boring. Like, that's boring. And so instead, I decided to make the Rainbow-bahn. As you know, with ice boats, we can go at like Mach 1 million. And so I decided to make this using the wool from the wool farm. Whee! Super duper fast. Let's go. I actually even have to pause the game because it doesn't generate quick enough. Got no idea. This is on top of a geode. I don't know if you can see it. This is ENXO4's design, which I cannot recommend enough. Usually when you want to make like a pretty high efficiency guardian farm, you've got to drain the whole farm, and it's an absolute pain. Oh yeah. But this farm uses the player spawning sphere. So guardians can only spawn in this area of the monument, and they go into the portals and all fall down, ready for us to just smack. And I also am planning on using this for the drop. With looting 3, you get pretty cool drops. But yeah, look at that. Look at that. All this profit. Profit. Quick trip back in the Rainbow-bahn. Get it? Whee! This is so nice. I really like these like alternative forms of travel, because it's kind of a bummer, but when you have an elytra, all other forms of transport kind of become redundant because you can just fly everywhere super easily. Apart from that, well, this is a big project that I was kind of wanting to do that I kind of stagnated on. I will be making it somewhere else, so I will be tearing all of this down. Oh, and I haven't showed this. In the end boat, I've got a little brewing setup. Pretty simple, small, easy, and it gives me kind of a reason to fly up there, which is nice. And some last things of this area. I built this big farmhouse, but I ended up tearing it down because I just really didn't like it. It was like a bit too big, because this is my OG area where I lived in the beginning. You can see the classic starter farm. What else? I had a little mine in here. So I kind of want to build like a little farm area. But this tree has never been deleted. It's been here the whole time. Over here, this is it's a really neat tree farm. It avoids the pods all spreading everywhere. And it also uses a lathe. You just smack down saplings and wait for them to grow. You can just mine down easily. And so once we're down here, the leaves will start decaying. I've got some allays that have like most of the items that'll drop here. They bring the items to this note block. It has a hopper minecart and it just sends the stuff into this pipe. Bet you can't guess where it's going. Here are these walls that you'll probably have seen. I swear I'm working on them. It's a lot bigger than I expected. I do kind of want to have it finished because it's kind of like an eyesore. I'm not 100% like sold on it, but the reason for these walls is because when there are thunderstorms, as you can see with my mob head collection, I just run out here and get charge creepers and name tag them. But the thing is, I just end up leaving them here because I can't be asked to go around and actually get the mob head. So they just ended up roaming free. Before this wall was built, they would be roaming free in my base. As you can see with this boy, it gives the whole base kind of like a peninsula fortress kind of vibe. Over here, I have this squid farm, which is really bad. I spent so long building this because I needed some black dye. I had to AFK for a really long time to get really mediocre drops. Here, there's this kind of like, I think it's like a raid setup. Yeah, it's not that good. Finally, before we go into the nether, which yes, we have all this nether stuff, I just wanted to stop over here with these vindicators, which is like one of my biggest blunders. So I brought these vindicators all the way from a woodlands mansion because the vindicators from woodlands mansion will never despawn, as you can see. First of all, if I wanted to use them as the killing chamber of some farm, which is like the coolest way to use them in my opinion, I would have had to name tag them anyway as Johnny so that they attack everything. But no, intelligent me decided to bring these dudes all the way across the nether roof with speed potions, which they definitely didn't kill me multiple times on the nether roof. Funny little side note, the last built up area is the nether. And the first thing you gotta know about the nether is I hate it. So I am on the nether roof because the nether is extremely dangerous. But yeah, I barely ever come down here. I also regenerated the nether when the Nether update dropped. I think it was 1.16. If we follow these rails, we have the Nether Town, which is one of my more recent builds. I made this actually in a triangle. It's in between Crimson Forest, Nether Wastes, and Soul Sand Valley. So then I can kind of like make the three big nether farms here pretty easily. So I've got a gold farm over here, Hoglin farm over here, which is crazy for food. This is the most recent thing. You can see by the little chest monster. So the gold farm produces gold, but also loads of rotten flesh. Instead of just dispensing it into lava, we have all of these villagers which actually have beds because I thought it was kind of funny. It actually didn't end up working out because they always sleep when I want to come and trade. It's so annoying. Have this portal that goes to a bed. But luckily the night and day cycles are the same in the nether and in the overworld, so we can just come back here and farm. But anyway, we have the pretty nice system where we've just got like a bajillion rotten flesh over here, and we can just like grab some rotten flesh and we can just come over here to our villages that have been zombified a couple of times. And actually it's also doubles up as a bit of a redstone farm because I can just trade the emeralds back into redstone, which is pretty nice. And also one of the coolest things, so here you can see over in the red side, it's all red nether brick, red redstone torches, all the sky is red and everything. But now when we go over to the blue side, oh, the sky turns blue. Got blue torches. Yeah, so this is because we're in the intersection in between Soul Sand Valley, which has a blue sky, and Nether Waste, which has a red one. I definitely want to make this bigger. Eventually I would like to make it into like a whole sprawling little nether town with like a bartering farm. I also want to do like a redesign of the gold farm because also now the bummer is when you're up in the AFK spot, as you can see here, mobs can also spawn in like, yeah, basically everywhere except this farm, which is not ideal. That is pretty much it. We've got a little bit of stuff in the end. We've got some random farms around here, but I'm not going to get into that. So this is pretty much the world. I'm really happy about it, really proud of the stuff that I have made. Kind of feels a bit disjointed. Like this cobblestone here is like to make paths, develop this area and kind of make it feel a bit more homely. And that's also kind of why I'm starting up the videos, because I kind of want the push to kind of like make it and also share it with you guys. So yeah, stay tuned. Kind of wanted to make this as a context because as you've seen, it's a pretty crazy and intricate world, and I think that if I just started making videos, people would get very lost. Quick plug, like, subscribe, so you can stay updated or things. I'll see you in the next video, which hopefully is coming soon.